Hey everybody, this one's going to be really quick. This is not actually the first time I've brought this up. I've talked about it on my Patreon. I talked about it on a live stream previously, but let's make it nice and official in case anyone here doesn't follow the live streams and isn't following me or supporting me on my Patreon. I'd appreciate it, but it's not required. So things are going to change a little bit around here in terms of what goes up on this channel and more specifically in terms of how frequently. For a while now, I have been doing 4 videos per week. I am cutting that in half and going down to 2 videos a week. Now, that doesn't mean that everything is going away. Here's the plan with this. The idea is that what's going to stay here is the overdue Doctor Who review, which is going to become Take 2 Doctor Who review as I start to get into episodes that I've actually done reviews on before. But I am going to continue the rewatch through the Capaldi era, and that will remain on Wednesday where it's always been. So that stays put, and then there will be another video per week on, right now the plan is Saturdays. So that video will be something that is not going to be drastically different from the sort of thing I've already done, but the idea is that it's going to give me more time to work on slightly bigger ideas and slightly better presentation than I've generally done. If you want an idea of what I'm talking about, some of my more recent videos can actually sort of point you to the kinds of things I'm talking about, and by that I mean my video on transgender themes in famous movies and also the 90s comics retrial of Death of Superman. Not to say that those formats exactly are what I'm talking about, but if you watch those, you can tell that there was more time that had to be spent on them. There was more editing involved. In the case of 90s Comics Retrials, there was green screen effects to work with. Basically, the workload was just higher, and I was able to produce something that I'm a little more proud of than my just sitting down and rambling in front of a camera more or less unedited. That doesn't mean that I'm going to stop doing that. It just means it's going to move. I've mentioned before that I now have a secondary channel called Break Room of Geeks. If you like just me rambling, that is still going to happen, but it's going to happen in the break room. And the break room is not going to have a fixed upload schedule. It's going to be basically whenever I have something that I want to talk about that I'm not going to base a bigger video here on the main channel around. With the idea being that my more rambly, off-the-cuff, looser stuff, that will live in the break room, whereas stuff that is more polished and is kind of the premier content of what I'm trying to produce, that will be here in Council of Geeks. So, that's the plan. Live streams still happen here twice a month on Tuesdays, every other Tuesday. And the overdue Doctor Who will stay here and turning into Take 2 Doctor Who review as I continue the rewatch. And then Saturdays, new video, hopefully of higher quality, production quality, and just something that gives me the room to stretch out and try and grow a little bit more as a content producer. So we'll see what happens. I hope you'll stick with me. If you aren't already subscribed to the Break Room, I would encourage you to do that because, as I said, a lot of the stuff you might be used to seeing here is going to start migrating over that way. Some of it already has. So I hope you'll stick around as we move into the next phase of wherever all this takes us. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, this very brief update of the Council is adjourned.